Unfortunately, according to Johns Hopkins University data, the COVID-19 case count in the US has surpassed 10 million, while 200,000 American lives have been lost. 200,000. Let that sink in for a moment. Experts have even suggested that those numbers could continue to rise over the next few weeks, urging the country to adopt measures to slow the spread and protect its citizens. Meanwhile, many European countries are also facing an uphill battle, with border closures and secondary lockdowns now the norm. This truly breaks my heart. One life lost is one too many. The focus should now be on improving the situation. That is why today I would like to tell you about some of China's successes in this regard. Okay, I know China is not in the good books of many of you out there at the moment, and I'm not here to change your mind. But what I can do is share with you how China has succeeded in controlling the virus and dealing with small outbreaks domestically. Nip it in the bud, as they say. Just a few days ago, Tianjin, a city neighbouring Beijing, recorded at least 2 confirmed cases. One of those cases involved a cold chain logistics worker who had come into contact with frozen food. As soon as the first case was identified, the entire city went into battle mode, with all city residents falling in line, voluntarily mind you, to support the city's antivirus measures. The swift reaction reminds me of a CNN news piece that I recently saw about a similar COVID-19 response in Qingdao after a number of cases were identified there.
All right, to China now, carrying out mass coronavirus testing in one of its biggest cities. Officials in Qingdao say they have conducted 8.2 million tests in just 3 days.
Julia, it's massive scale. I mean, when you talk about a city that's larger than New York and they're determined to test every single resident, according to health officials.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? So many of the elements of this simply wouldn't work in nations elsewhere in the world.
Yes, you heard that right. China managed to test more than 10 million residents in the city within just 5 days. This was in response to a minor outbreak. Regardless of your stance on China, in this regard, I think it should be a case of credit where credit is due. Yeah? They mobilized instantly to provide medical treatment to patients, carry out citywide nucleic acid testing, and even trace the source of infection. All of this took place in literally the blink of an eye. And just as in Tianjin, Qingdao residents were willing to cooperate with medical staff during testing in an orderly manner, helping one another without any complaints. You know, sometimes when I post videos, there's always going to be someone that leaves a comment suggesting that I praise China's response because I'm a sellout. Well, as you can see, it's not just me that acknowledged that this kind of response is commendable. CNN also agreed, and I doubt you would accuse those anchors of the same. After all, facts are facts, regardless of who presents them. You know, this pandemic has really allowed me to see a different side of China. When everyone gets behind a single goal, miracles really can happen. Oh, and before I go, if you haven't heard, the 3rd China International Import Expo was recently held in Shanghai. The major commercial event brought together around 2,600 businesses from over 120 countries and regions worldwide, including 196 US firms. It's a great example of how, if we are able to rein in COVID-19, the economy can surely recover. Regardless, you can't put a price on human life. Once lost, lives are gone forever, but economies will always have a chance to rebound. The key word here, priorities. Thank you.